A lot of cancellations this week. Lots of cancellations. This
They're
one, some
canceling me,
people,
too.
some you stay on this show, you might get canceled. Some people are going to say that this one's been a long time coming, and I might agree with them to a degree, and that's The Flash. Unfortunately, for those of you, not the Flash Ezra Miller Flash, but the CW's Flash has come or is coming to an end. The Flash will conclude with its upcoming 9th season.
Thank God.
Damn. It just concluded its 8th season in June and is set to wrap up with just 13 more episodes. It is traditionally a 22 episode show. The Flash seems to mark the end of the extended universe known as the Arrowverse, as fans know it. All right, so that's really all that, because some other shows got canceled that I figured were already canceled. Pretty much, there were quite a few things that weren't even connected to this, but some of them, like the one where they all were together, the Tomorrow, whatever.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, Legends of Tomorrow was one of them, and one of the other Arrowverse, I think Black Lightning or something like that. Pretty much all of the Arrowverse shows have been canceled. Flash is getting, I don't know if the other ones are getting final seasons. Flash is getting a final season, but it'll only be half of, 13 episodes. Now, I haven't watched, now I will say, I watched this show for the first, I don't know, 5 seasons maybe, if that. And I didn't watch it on TV. I watched it on Netflix. I binged it, and I was into it. I liked it. I mean, for what it was, it's a CW show. You know what you're getting. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because I actually watched Arrow first, and I was watching through a few seasons of that. And then when this show branched off of that, I started watching it. I enjoyed both of those shows. Arrow kind of started to go way out there, and I stopped watching it because it didn't interest me anymore. And that's what happened with this one. I was watching it, and then it just started to get kind of stale. I want to say probably 5 seasons, if that. Well, they just concluded 8. I feel like it was further back than that. So maybe only 4.
It was like the end of the 4th season, beginning of 5th season, where it just kind of fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
I think I think it was a Flashpoint paradox was when it started to really fall apart.
I don't even remember if that's where I stopped watching it. I remember the guy from, what's his name, Ian McDonough or whatever. I don't know. He was on it. He was a villain in it, and I stopped watching it then. I think that was that show. I don't know. I get that and Arrow confused. I stopped watching it quite a while back. I mean, I didn't hate it. Arrow I started disliking. That's why I stopped. This one just started losing my interest, and I was like, well, let's just let it go. But the show, I was actually surprised that it was still on, but it has prevailed. They canceled Supergirl, which fuck, that show was bad. It started out okay, I'll give it that, but okay. But yeah, the Flash, it's ending. Now, an interesting thing to this is that apparently the creators thought that last season, this one that just concluded, was going to be their final season. They thought it was ending this season. So they apparently made this big, huge ending to it. Like it was supposed to be their magnum opus, and it's really cool and stuff. I have no idea. Some battle between Flash and somebody else. And it was like they were filming that last part of the season when they got the call that, hey, you've been renewed. But only for 13 episodes. You're going to get a farewell, which is weird, and that's just how Hollywood works. Because other shows that could have, hey, they got canceled, and they could have used maybe a few more episodes just to kind of put a cap on everything. They don't get it. This show, they put a cap on it. They were done. They were like, we're done. Hey, do 13 more. So that leads one to believe, because they're even saying, we don't know what we're going to do for these 13 episodes because... yeah. How do we top? This was the end. This was our big finish. And now we got to top that for another finish? So that doesn't leave... I mean, me, myself, personally, I don't care because I don't watch the show anymore. But for fans of the show, I'm like, that's not good. You're going into a show that's... they're telling you flat out, this might not be that good, or it won't be better than last season. That doesn't mean it won't be good or the same quality.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, but what are your thoughts on this, Nick? And what's your history with the Flash? Did you ever watch the Arrowverse or any of that? Are you heartbroken that the Arrowverse is coming to an end?
I have a history with that at the Arrowverse because my film school teacher actually taught the guy who directed the pilot for both of those. my whole thing with the Arrowverse is I was actually really on board for a few seasons. I would actually watch it in chronological order to get all the what was going on, and then Arrow started doing some really stupid stuff. Supergirl never really caught on for me. Legends of Tomorrow had like Stephen King in it at some point and Barack Obama. And I'm like, this is
Really?
yeah.
I didn't know
Stephen
that.
King was
That must
yeah,
have been
yeah,
like, I
Stephen
stopped
King was
watching
in
that
it.
after like 2 seasons.
Oh yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was, but when people started leading, it was like I don't care anymore. And then Flash was the one I felt was like the most coherent through a few seasons, and then it just started getting really like the Flash and Barry Allen and Iris West or whatever their love thing was. I don't know. When the Flashpoint paradox happened, when they were trying to reset everything, and then like Killer Frost came into them, and I was like, I don't care anymore. And I just
I
stopped.
think that's when I
watching it one
stopped
day.
watching it. Because
Yeah,
I
I
remember
mean,
that
even people
character coming up, and then it was around that time I was like, yeah, I'm kind of
Yeah. Then my friends were like, we're still on board, and then they even stopped watching. It just, I think at some point it just got old. To be fairly honest, it just got stupid and boring, and
got
it didn't really
stale.
make much sense. Yeah, I mean, it was on. Arrow was on for like 12 years or 10 years or some insane amount of time.
Yeah,
So,
it was on for a while. I didn't watch the end of that either, but yeah, that's about where I was. I enjoyed it in the beginning, and I enjoyed that whole thing. I was actually I said a few times on my channel and to other people that Marvel's got the movies. Marvel's doing the cinematic side of things right. This is before Endgame, or this phase rather. Marvel's got the movies on lock. DC struggles with the movies. This was years ago, and but Marvel can't do TV for shit, which they couldn't. This is before Disney Plus and all that, which I mean, depending on who you are, they still can't. But they couldn't do TV for shit. But DC had the TV on lock with the Arrowverse and everything else, because everything they did on TV and their animated was just really good. And then they started going off into wherever Arrow went, and Legends of Tomorrow, and the whole Supergirl debacle, and this show and all that. And so yeah, I mean I'm not really that heartbroken that it's coming to an end. Everything has to come to an end. I guess I'm happy that they're getting a farewell season, even though it sounds like they didn't need it. But hey, good on them.
I mean, if you enjoy that, if it's like Walking Dead, if you still enjoy it, fuck, go for it.
Yeah,
Hey, I could give two shits. So
yeah, there were a ton of shows out there that I wish had gotten even a few, like a mini series that would have been okay with, like Firefly.
Bring back fucking Terriers, Firefly Terriers. Bring all that shit back.
Yeah, Dark
don't
Angel,
care
things
about-
like that. I would have loved to have seen like a
Yeah.
final season or mini series or
Terminator,
something.
the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yeah, I never watched that. I need to check that
Oh,
out.
that was so good.
I've heard that.
So good.
But yeah, for those of you out there that are interested in The Flash, unfortunately, it's coming to an end. If you're still watching it, I assume you like it. It's stayed on, and the other ones have ended up getting canceled way before this. So I'm assuming that it's had at least some level of creativity. The Flash is finally coming to an end. The Arrowverse is finally coming to an end. So
I mean, I will say this. At least they had their moments. Like some of the cross episodes between the shows worked really well. Actually, I thought it was a lot of fun. But I think there's a point where even it gets stale and old, and it has to come to a conclusion and conclude to, which is doing so. Grant Gustin, all these actors made a pretty good mark on their characters, and they knew it was coming to an end. I mean, the episodes, the series was not doing very well after a while, so it is what it is at this point.
now on Grant Gustin, you bring something up before we get out of here. I did want to ask, in regards to the Flash movie that's coming out next year. Well, supposedly coming out next year. Ezra Miller and all his fuckery. Some people have been like, there's been petitions apparently for Grant Gustin to take over that role. I don't see them, because what they said is, hey, the guy's in practically every frame of the movie, so it would be difficult to replace him at this point, because the movie's done filming. So it would be all but impossible. They'd have to reshoot the entire movie. But some
Hey,
people
put
have said
Christopher Plummer in it. Have him be the Flash. Fuck
that's
it.
the thing. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
they
he's
did that
dead.
with him, but and
Yeah.
it's a CGI heavy movie, and they got time.
I know.
I don't know if that would work. I mean, every single scene of the movie that might there be a disconnect at some point. But I would be interested to see. Do you think that because when it goes from TV to movies, like you got Smallville and other shows like that,
Yeah.
people have always said these things because they grow attached to these actors and these characters. Do you think that? Because I doubt Ezra Miller is going to continue to be the Flash past the Flash movie. Maybe they come back and like at the end of the Flash movie, like a Stinger is like because I know it's going to deal with Flashpoint and all that. He comes back or something like that, and he suddenly somehow, some way transform. That would be the ultimate. If they want to put a good cap on that movie, have him flashback or whatever and look around or whatever. Because we already hear that like some of the Batmen are going to show up in this regard. Maybe he comes back and he takes his mask off, and it's Grant Gustin. He is like become that Flash. So maybe to give, I don't know if that would work or not. How that works because Flashpoint gets really
Honestly,
like, out there.
just find someone else. I know people want Grant Gustin, but when was the last time the audience knew what they were talking about? To be fairly honest, I mean, look at us too. We're on here talking about movies, and I don't even know if we know what we're talking about half the time.
Look at
It's just
Batgirl.
like-
They said Batgirl was great apparently, and it's
yeah, it's just sometimes you got to let the studios do what they need to do. Here, Grant Gustin is going to go off and do, get his residuals off, off the Flash, and he'll go do whatever he needs to do in movie form or TV form. Maybe he'll go do another TV series that's even more popular than the Flash. I don't know, but yeah.
maybe he'll be like on the Gossip Girl reboot or something. I don't know. I don't know anything about that show. I just know they're
We'll have him be in like Sex and the City as whatever Sam. Be him play Sam.
Yeah, you can replace her. She didn't come back. Anyway, we're getting a little out there. All right, so The Flash. If it's been your thing, get ready. You got 13 more episodes after whatever's already aired, and it will come to a bittersweet end, apparently.